What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesFromRetail. This story is called The Day I Learned Not to Judge a Book by Its Cover. So, I used to work at a very popular jewelry store. I was a salesperson and, admittedly, absolute trash at it. It was a very slow day in the summer, not jewelry buying season at all, and it was just me and the boss. Middle of the day, out of the blue, a woman walks in. This woman looks like your typical trailer park girl who was just walking in to look at shiny stuff. But the boss has always stressed that we should approach and attempt to help anyone who wanders in. Now at this point, I see him see her. He gives her one look up and down while he's at his desk behind the counter and looks back at his computer. Clearly, he sees what I see in her as well. He had a very well-established clientele and didn't often need to take long shots that just wander in. So after a moment of her looking around, I walk up to her. Me is me, woman is woman. Hi there, welcome to Store Name. Looking for anything in particular? The woman says quietly and seeming a bit overwhelmed in the store. Well, I'm looking to buy my son something nice. Oh, cool. Birthday? The woman says, still quiet and a bit nervous. Yes, but mostly as a thank you. We've been struggling all his life, paying off debt and me not holding down a steady job, but my life is really back on track. I have a good job now and we're living very well, and I just want to thank him for fighting through the tough times with me. At this point, I am very taken aback and a little mad at myself. I was very judgmental of this woman before I even spoke to her, but after our little talk, which I paraphrased because I don't remember every detail of it, I actually was very proud for her. So after about 10 minutes of chit-chat, I start selling again. Well ma'am, I'd love to help you find something for him. What do you think he'd like? The woman, seeming more chipper after talking to me for a while. Well, he always wanted a real gold chain, but I could never afford it. Now that I can, I'm getting that boy a gold chain. We both laugh and I lead her over to where we keep the gold chains. I show her a couple and she chooses one she likes. This was a very nice chain. Thick 14 karat gold. The works. After a bit of playing around on the register with the active discounts, I got it to $3,000. Obviously, that is a lot of money, and even people who are doing well for themselves often don't have $3,000 in the bank that they can just drop on a gift. So you mentioned that you've paid off your debts and your finances are in good standing? So I take it your credit is much better than it was? Yes, much better. Well, would you be interested in financing this? Absolutely. So she shows me her driver's license and I get some information from her. The typical stuff for credit check. Even after our talk, I didn't expect her to get much. Being in a hole with your credit can be a serious nightmare to climb out of. And even people who have turned their finances around in a big way can still have bad credit. To my shock, awe, and glee, she was approved for $8,000 in credit. In my time at that store, I think I may have seen one other person the whole time get instantly approved for that amount. After that, we head to the register and I check her out. She even has the cash to do a down payment so that she won't be charged any interest over her payments. I give her the bag with the chain in a nice case and we walk toward the front of the store and talk for a moment. As we chat again, I think about her story and how much trouble she's had getting her life back in order. And I'm not even thinking about the money I just made. I was just proud of her. As we part ways, I hit her with words I feel like she's been wanting to hear for a long time. Clearly choked up, she says, "Thank you." That job made me very bitter and judgmental for a stretch of my life. But I don't think back on the bad times nearly as often as I think back to that woman. Even my boss was caught off guard that I got a huge sale on a slow day from the last person we would have expected. Seriously, everyone, don't let retail make you bitter to people based off appearances. You don't know their story, and sometimes their story is beautiful. Oh, man. Oh, god dang, these stories, they really get to me sometimes. Holy crap, man. Almost straight up started freaking crying, tear almost down my cheek. These stories, god. Like, when she was talking about how her life was and how she wants to do good by her son and all that stuff, man, that was so sweet. Good for her, good on her, just good, man, woman. do your thing. Good job. This story is called Crazy Lady Threatens to Call the Cops on Us Cause I Was Supposedly Following Her in the Store. Edit. Before too many people see this, I just wanted to say Happy Holidays to everyone who reads. I apologize in advance if there are any misspellings. I just got home from work and typed this all out and I am exhausted. I also know I'm missing a ton of finer details which I will edit in later once I remember them. Edit 2. Got some sleep and remembered some of the finer details. Edit 3. It's spelled aisle, not aisle. That's funny. So tonight at work, I was cleaning up. We had a cart full of items to go back on the shelves at the very front of the store. I've been going in and out of aisles for about an hour now, and I'm running back a few items for a certain aisle. I'm walking to put some Play-Doh down, and just before it, I see some hair ties. So I put the Play-Doh away and turn to grab the hair ties for the next aisle. I look at the end of the aisle, and there's this lady just staring at me. I kinda chuckle playfully, I was in a good mood, and said, "Doing a lot of thinking?" Cause I often see customers staring at me if they're really deep in thought. Crazy lady, very confrontational. "No, can I help you?" What? "Can I help you?" Do you need help?" "No, can I help you?" No? "Okay, cause you've been following me around the whole store and you're making me uncomfortable." Putting my hands up to my chest, "Ma'am, I've been doing nothing but cleaning. I'm sorry you think I'm following you, but I'm not." "Well, you were. Now can you please go into another aisle? You're still making me uncomfortable." I turn around and out of the aisle. I put the hair ties back before locating my coworker a few aisles over. I tell my coworker about the confrontation. I tell her I think she might be stealing based on the last thing she said to me, and that I was going to find my supervisor. My coworker asked me to show her who it was so she can keep an eye on confrontational lady until I find my supervisor. As I turn around to show my coworker who it was, I see confrontational lady walking past the aisle. I quickly shuffle myself down the aisle with my coworker. There's a small corner, and just as we go to turn it, we nearly collide with confrontational lady. She locks eyes with my coworker and starts talking, asking if she can leave her cart up at front cause she needs to step outside for a smoke. My coworker tries to figure out if she'll be coming back inside to continue shopping or if she'll immediately go to checkout. I step away during this, since my anxiety disorder now has me shaking from the previous confrontation. I find my supervisor sitting in the back taking a quick break. I ask to join him and explain what's going on. Once I'm done and start to relax a bit, my coworker comes back explaining what was going on. She was apparently rambling and talking over my coworker about just needing a smoke and just going outside. It eventually turned to me, and she just went on about how I was following her in 9 different aisles. How she used to work at Zellers, had lots of money, she knows what retail workers do when they think people are stealing, insisting I was purposefully following her, and that she wanted to file a formal complaint. Me, my coworker, and my supervisor sit in the back for a bit, kinda digesting it. I'm lightly crying at this point because of my anxiety, so after a bit, I get up once I've calmed down, and say we should be getting back to cleaning. At this point, we had to assume she was long gone, and it was just something to laugh about. Nope, she was at cash, being served by one of my coworkers. Her card isn't working, so my other coworker has to call my supervisor. Confrontational lady then starts complaining about how I was following her and all that. So far, she's had me and my coworker try to explain it's just a huge misunderstanding, and then my supervisor tries to say the same thing. Confrontational lady insists I was following her purposefully. I talked to my supervisor later and he said, "I told her she wasn't following you around, it's just a misunderstanding," and she replied, "Well, I know she was." Anyways, confrontational lady had a lot of stuff, so my supervisor offered to help bring it to her car. While at her car, he told me all this a lot later, my supervisor stirred the pot a bit and told her that, even though I was making her uncomfortable, it wasn't fair that she was also making me uncomfortable. Confrontational lady threatened to call the cops on me and my supervisor for harassing and stalking her, and said that it was good I felt bad because that meant I was guilty. While my supervisor was coming back inside, she also said he would go to hell and was swearing at him. My supervisor found me and explained the situation and how the cops may get called on us. He then told the rest of the team what was up. I start going into my second anxiety attack because having the cops threatened is scary to me, and I have to go into the back to calm down. While in the back, my supervisor comes in after me and reassures me that a simple complaint won't be an issue as management knows me too well, and that I wouldn't purposefully start anything or do anything malicious. During this, the phone rings. My supervisor picks it up and it's confrontational lady asking for the manager. My supervisor informs her that he is the manager and that he's the guy wearing the blue hoodie. She doesn't know our names and only knows us as blue hoodie guy and black-haired girl, which isn't even true. My hair is brown. She hangs up immediately. I relax again and stick by my supervisor the rest of the night. He offered to let me go home early, but I said I would only take it if I started getting upset again, which I didn't, luckily. Okay, first off, I had a bit of a mental dilemma there because the supervisor was imitating the lady, and the lady is, a voice that I was doing, so I had to make one character imitate another character while still making sure both characters' voices are coming through. That was a little crazy. Anyways, my voice acting prowess aside, that lady needs, help or something. I don't know. That was just weird. This story's called Customer Orders Something Online, Doesn't Pay Attention to the Details. No drama in this one. This is more of just an annoyance of wishing people would read properly. A bit of a long explanation at the beginning here. So I work for a Canadian retailer which has independently owned and operated stores. We have a distribution center that supplies roughly a third of the stores throughout the country. That is where our store stock is ordered from. Our retailer is rather behind when it comes to online orders compared to the bigger retailers in Canada. The retailers often show live inventory of stock in the nearest store or allow online orders to put a reserve on an item that may be in stock at the store. Whereas our retailer, if someone places an order on our website, it is sent to our distribution center and sent on the next available truck that supplies our store. It causes issues with customers because, as you know, they read only what they want to see. One example is when you're on the page of the item, it says available and in stock, and a tab to select how much you want to order. Customers think this translates to what our store has in stock, and the tab that selects how much you want to order is our current inventory. Some people don't seem to understand it when we explain it. We often tell people to just phone us to order the item they want, because another issue is when ordered online, we have no idea about the online order until it arrives, so if it's lost in transit, we have no way of tracking the order or knowing about it, and the customer has paid for it online. So we tell them ordering through us rather than online, we can track the order and they don't have to pay for it until they come to the store to pick it up. Saves a lot of headaches. And this story is a prime example of the headaches it causes. I was working a Sunday during the summer. I was the most senior staff in the store that day. I had a couple, probably in their late 20s, come in. I asked them if there's anything I can help them find. The man responds with, "Yeah, we ordered a dehumidifier online. We were wondering if it is in." I asked them when they placed the order, and the guy replied, "Today." I explained to him that if the order was placed today, it won't be here until our next truck during the week. He responds with, "Well, it says online you have stock." I clarify that when it says there is stock at our distribution center, and that the website doesn't show live inventory for our stores. So, an order placed today would arrive on the truck during the week. He seemed slightly confused by it and said, "Well, it said online to pick up at the store." I had to clarify to him again that when the order arrives, you pick it up at the store. That is what it means. I told him though I do keep the dehumidifier that he ordered in stock already, so he can either buy the one we have on the shelf and see if he could cancel the order, or wait for the one he ordered to come in. He said, "Well, can you let me take the one on your shelf?" I said yes, but he'd still have to pay for it here at the store. He responds, "But I paid for it online. Can't I walk out with it?" I told him no. Online ordering is a separate system. I don't have any of the paperwork for the item, and our store doesn't make any money from the online orders. So I'd be letting him walk out with a free dehumidifier if I did. He said, "Well, can you check with your manager?" I told him that my manager wasn't in today, but he'd say the same thing I was telling him. He replied, "Well, is there anyone here who'll let us take this?" I told him that I'm the most senior staff here, and I can't let him take the dehumidifier without paying for it, regardless of whether he paid online or not. He wasn't mad or anything, he was just really confused. So he decided not to take it and wait for the order to come in. So an hour later, I get a call from the customer saying he's on the email confirmation and it says in stock at our store, pick up at your local store. I told him that it doesn't seem right. The stock they are referring to is our distribution center and the pickup is when the order arrives. He again asks if I can let him walk out with a dehumidifier. I told him I can't, he has to pay for it. So he says he'll come in and show me the email because he was as confused as I was starting to get on the whole matter. So he comes in less than an hour later, but he walks right by me and heads straight for the dehumidifiers. So I head straight to where he was and asked him if he has the email. He responds, "Actually, I canceled the order online. You were right, I read into it more and it says everything you pretty much said." I rolled my eyes internally. I wanted to say, if you read the details properly, it would have avoided all this headache. But I just said, this is why we tell the customers to just phone our store or come in to do an order rather than online. It saves a lot of these kinds of headaches. So he bought the dehumidifier and left. No drama, no freakouts, just annoyance and confusion. This story is very similar to my online ordering from Walmart experience, which was, oh my god, absolutely hell, and I hate Walmart for it, and I'm never gonna buy anything ever again from Walmart. Boycott Walmart. I'm kidding, I love Walmart, but that was just ridiculous. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.